Hey kids, we're back. You're watching Guitar Quackery Live, the one and only live streaming guitar repair channel. And we are streaming. Sorry, I'm just watching the other kids there because they're walking around the guitar that I have there on the neck jig. Yeah, live streaming. So, what are we doing? We are streaming, and I'm going to send a link to the customer so he can watch me work on his guitar. I got to copy the link. I did copy it, but for some reason, it's no longer in the clipboard. Paste. And goes out to the customer. And then another link will go outside. We'll have a monitor outside. Bear with me. Well, you know, it's a live stream, so like this, it gives the audience a chance to join. I hope we have sound. We do have sound, yeah. Okay. I was having some issues with this microphone. Actually, not with this one. With this one. Which is why, one reason why I have two. So now, I'm using my spare mic. So, careful. Yeah, careful. Yeah. So, here we go. People are running around the neck jig, and it's making me nervous. Okay, so, let's see. Where's the outside camera? Camera 6. Okay, camera 2. All right, so here's the neck jig. And they're just running around. Like running. Careful, right? So I'm going to mark off the frets for a level crown and polish job. And here. Wrong camera. Okay, now I got the right camera. See? When people are misbehaving, they're making me nervous. I switched to the wrong camera. So here we have the red marker. It's a pretty standard job. I already cleaned the fingerboard. The nut, I couldn't remove it. It's impossible. I measured the frets 2 or 3 times. They are 15-inch radius, and so is the fretboard. So with a 15-inch radius, I don't have a 15-inch radius sanding beam. Normally it would be a 14-inch. This one, for whatever reason, is a 15-inch. I wonder if it's within factory tolerance. But if I use a 14-inch leveling beam, I would be removing too much material. And the point of a level crown and polish is to remove as little material as needed, as possible, but just as much as needed, right? So we mark off the fingerboard because, I mean, all the frets in red. This way we see exactly where we are removing material. So something was not working right in Studio 1 over there, and people were getting nervous and then running right around this neck jig, right around this expensive guitar. And I don't like when people are running. Yeah, it's making me nervous. Running is for, you know, kids in the park, around the jungle gym, but not around the neck jig. Okay, So I'll be using a straight leveling beam. This is the Music Nomad L beam. That's what I'm using. And here we go. So I just want to make sure all the red marker is dry. It is. Okay. And I'll be doing like this kind of X pattern so that I maintain the radius. And my first pass is just a light pass, just for me to get a read on the fingerboard. And I can see where the high spots are, and I can see where the low spots are. So we have low, like a low area here, and this fret is really high. So we need to focus some pressure on this fret. So this is something that the camera doesn't show, but I'm basically pushing down here. Because this fret is now preventing me from hitting these frets. I initially set up the fingerboard using this notched straight edge. Okay, and the fingerboard is not lifted here where the last fret is. It's just that the last fret is not seated all the way and is now preventing me from hitting these frets past, you know, including the 7th fret all the way up to this one, which is 14, 16, 18, 20th fret. Okay, now I'm starting to hit the 19th fret, so that's good. So yeah, I don't necessarily always use a beveled, not beveled, yeah, radiused sanding beam for level crown and polish. It depends. Okay, so now I also see that it's hitting the 19th fret. I'm gonna have to double check the board using the notched straight edge. Double check. It's a short scale length. So now, yes, I can see that we actually have a whole area that's low here. And here it's lifting up. So it's the opposite of what we want. And in addition, the frets here are not seated. I can see a little gap under the fret. So we're still doing the economy job, which is a fret level crown and polish instead of a refret. We could take care of this by pulling the frets out and planing the fingerboard. So now I know, I figured out why, as we speak, why this is lifted. Well, because there's a little gap at the heel of the neck, minuscule gap. And I guess at the breaking point here now, this is going up, and it creates like this shape. This is the fingerboard extension, this is the, like that. So that's what I think. So I will be leveling down the frets here to the point. I'll make them lower than any other frets. Obviously, that's going to be the end result. But it's not a problem on an acoustic guitar. These frets are just decorative. I don't think anyone is going to be bending strings around the, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th fret. So now it's starting to hit the 18th fret. So there are some dimples on these frets here. We have some fret wear, and we have some uneven frets as well. It appears that the 6th fret is quite high, and the 2nd fret is low, and the 3rd fret is quite high. So I had a missed appointment today. So I have customer appointments, not every day, but today I had 2. And the second appointment at 6 p.m. was a no-show. And I texted him at 6:15. I said, not sure if you made an appointment. Because he just gave me the first name over the text message exchange, and then when he booked the appointment online, I saw a full name. So it was not a name that is like Joe, that's a usual name, so I assumed, that's the guy. And it was. But he did not show up. So that throws me off, because I could have been doing this while I was waiting. And I do have a cancellation fee. Cancellation fee is basically what you pay for the appointment is not refundable if you don't show up. Because now he says, so I texted him. And then he said, oh, I thought it was on Thursday. Well, it was today. Thursday's tomorrow. Not the day. I have other appointments. I have other things to do. But because there was another miscommunication with this customer in the past, and I already had to smooth out some misunderstandings, one misunderstanding, and I'll tell you what that was. I decided not to enforce the rule that I always do. If you don't show up, there goes your fee, right? So I book appointments online. Actually, customers book them themselves, and the only way to book it is to pay. So, and it says right there, if you're no-show, no refunds. So you have to agree to that. You have to click the agree box, and it's not a full page to read, it's just a statement. So yeah, so I decided to not pursue, because we already had a misunderstanding once. Now, I did say that I would tell you what the misunderstanding was. Sometimes it's difficult to... so I communicate via text messages. I rarely pick up the phone anymore. And that's because of various reasons. One is I don't like people keeping me on the phone talking about their guitars. I don't talk about a guitar until there's an appointment. I talk about only talk over text messages about what it takes to make an appointment. And if you want to talk about the guitar, that's immediately a consultation. So I don't want to talk over the phone because they're going to want to talk about their guitars. And some people, they just can't stop talking about their guitars. And I got work to do. The other reason is with text communication, I have everything in writing. And I save all of them. I never delete them. So first, it's a reminder for me. So if a customer calls me back or texts me back in however long of a time period, I can look at all the text communication from before, and and it's a good reminder of who that person is and what was said, what was discussed, etc. Also, it gives me an idea of the person without having to talk to them. So just how they communicate. If we have a communication breakdown, I don't want to book an appointment because that's just going to lead to problems. So what was the miscommunication with this customer? Well, he contacted me about doing a setup on a guitar. I send out a PDF that explains that I don't do setups by request, that I do whatever I see needs to be done, and that the goal is to get the guitar to its best performing condition. And I don't like people telling me that a setup will do the trick. Like this guitar, for example, has high frets here. It goes up, right? Has uneven frets all over the fingerboard and has dimples on these frets. So I want to first take care of that. And it was also dry, so I had to re-humidify it. So the PDF explains you bring the guitar here, I examine the guitar, and I let you know what it's going to take to fix it. Now, you don't need to agree, but then the assessment fee becomes a consultation fee. It's not refundable. Otherwise, the assessment fee is credited towards the work. Because, I need to look at the guitar anyway, right? So that's how I do it. So the PDF explained that. And he told me he had a guitar. I'm not going to say which guitar model, but it's a, cheap guitar. So I kept saying, are you sure you want this level of service? And that didn't sit well with him, I guess, the way I said it. And again, it's sometimes hard to judge over text messages how people are saying things. So with this customer, I had to kind of talk to him then, actually call him. Because I had, I could feel that he was getting a little bit annoyed, maybe upset.
You don't have to come in right now. We can come in like any time after the next 5 minutes. We're going to start.
So I had to explain over the phone that I am just looking out for his best interest. That if he understands, you know, that this is going to cost him more than what he paid for the guitar. And that I've had these situations before where people insist they want to bring a guitar that's, you know, a budget guitar. And then they come here, and then I give them either an estimate or something. And it's like, whoa, you know. So that's not a good experience, and I honestly don't want to waste my time with that. So whenever somebody is contacting me about doing work on a cheap guitar, I make sure that they understand what the deal is. And if they insist that they really want to do it, okay. And in those cases, I take the payment, which is just an estimate, in advance. I don't do that for, let's say, this guitar. This is a Martin Eric Clapton signature model. So still the cost of my service is less than the cost of this guitar. So if this customer doesn't show up, abandons the guitar, I send out a registered letter after a while, and you know, they don't respond or whatever. It's all in the contract that it's considered abandoned and that I can sell it to cover for my expenses. But let's say if you bring a $100 guitar for a $300 service, I'll do the service, but I'll collect $300 in advance. Because I don't want to tell people I don't want to work on your guitar. Because that rubbed some people the wrong way in the past. Change your camera. Yeah, so let me sight down the neck a little bit. It's looking better, but I still see some red on the sides of these frets here. Well, they need to be, and the dimples are still red, so it's all good. We're just doing this. Yeah, so now this customer will come tomorrow. Well, I have other plans for tomorrow, so now I need to make time again. So hopefully I can find a way to compensate for the extra time through service. That's the only way to do it, I guess. Well, not really. I mean, customers have missed appointments in the past. It happens rarely. But there was a missed appointment fairly recently. Actually, this reminds me. But let me say about this one. There was a missed appointment fairly recently, a few months ago. And then the customer texted me and says, oh, I had something else going on, and I know it's not refundable. I'll book another appointment. So I didn't even have to say anything, really. But like I said, this reminds me of another missed appointment. It wasn't really missed. It was canceled the last minute. And that was 6 or 7 months ago now, maybe longer. So he said that he had a family emergency and he had to go out of town. So that sounded like something serious. And I said, okay, these things happen. I'm not going to enforce the rule, right? If something happened. But then I followed up 2 times after some time had passed. I never heard back. I don't know if I can still remember what the guy's name was. I'll try to remember, go through my text messages and contact him back if I remember to do it after this live stream. This level crown and polish is going to be in 3 parts: level, crown, and then polish. Just so I break it down into segments. It's also making me a little bit nervous that a lot of people are going to be walking here, so I think I might be doing the crowning right there on the bench. The leveling has to be done on the neck jig. Well, it doesn't have to be done on the neck jig, but this one definitely needs to be done on the neck jig. And that's the service I discussed with the customer, so. Yeah, and with the customer that missed today, you know, I did tell him when I was talking to him, you know, usually I recommend the cheaper brand in town for the cheaper service in town for guitars of that value. And he said, yeah, you know, I'd rather support someone like you than the cheaper brand in town. So I can appreciate that, obviously. Yeah, people are getting ready for a rehearsal. It's 8 o'clock, so on the hour. Okay, I know you can't really see, but there's still some red left here, kind of like this and like that. Well, it needs to be better than this. I don't know. Still, one of the dimples is I use you know, lighter grit, finer grit sandpaper, and once it's broken in, I keep it for a longer period because I don't want to scratch the frets too much, because if you scratch them, then during the scratch removal, which comes after the recrowning, it would require more removal of material around the scratches. Yeah, I just want to kind of stand here while there's a little crowd behind me. I didn't know that it was going to be, apparently all the studios are booked today. So this place is Bob Elliott's Music Makers NY. This is the rehearsal studio. Those are rental guitars on the wall. I don't know if you can see them, yeah. But yeah, so I just rent a space here to do repairs. Bob Elliott is the owner of the studio. And it seems like today it's a busy day for the studio. Oh, I posted a review this morning, well, early afternoon, of a Fender new standard Telecaster, which means made in Indonesia. And it's getting some views already. Let me check. You're making me hungry. No, it's okay. Say what? Oh, it's popcorn. Ah, okay. So it's been getting some views already. So people want to know the quality of the new Fender standard. The new standard. 159 views so far, but I think it's going to go up. Wait until the people start sharing the link. And I also posted it on the Telecaster forum, so that should get me some views. Yeah, so this is performing well-ish. Kind of the upper average of my usual performance. We'll see. Okay. I feel better now. Yeah, I would feel bad if something happened to the guitar, to any guitar in my care, on my watch. I do have insurance. By the way, I can tell you, it's Anderson Musical Instrument Insurance down in Florida. Private company. Smaller company, I think. They've been really good to me. A lot of luthiers, repair technicians and luthiers also, I guess, use Anderson. I'm going to talk about that on my upcoming business channel. So yeah, I am going to start another channel. I already started recording videos for it. It's going to be called Guitar Quackery Business. And it's just going to be about the business of guitars. For those of you watching who are in this business or wish to be in this business and you need tips from someone who is in this business. Now, I'm not going to pretend to be the best business person, which I definitely am not. But I do have some tips that I want to share, some experience. And I think that might be helpful to many of you who wish to pursue this career. Not necessarily for those who wish to who wish to start their own business, but even if you just want to work for someone in the guitar repair business, how to be more efficient, etc. I used to be very efficient, but now I'm refocusing because I'm focused on content creation. So I really slowed down my work significantly. So let's say this project, right? If I work on it and I don't create any content, the customer pays me once and that's it. So I just traded my time for a payment. But this is now ending up on YouTube as a archived live stream. which will be replayed by people in the future. So at some point in the future, I will monetize this recorded content through Google Ads, AdSense. And whenever the ads play, unless people skip the ads, I will get a payment for this job over and over again in the future. Small payments, but you know, small payments do add up. And of course, I do want to monetize this channel in other ways. So by the way, this isn't my main channel, right? This is my auxiliary channel, Guitar Quackery Live, only for live streams. My main channel is called Guitar Quackery, without the word live in its title. But I can monetize this channel in other ways as well, through sponsorships, perhaps. So once I have more subscribers and more viewing hours, it might be possible to get sponsorships. So companies that make these tools that I'm recommending without being paid to recommend them. I'm recommending them already. This is Music Nomad. Yeah, they might want to sponsor this. But now I have 250 maybe subscribers. That's not enough. So I need to have over 1,000 to be even talking about sponsorships. And yeah. I started this channel so that customers can watch me work on their guitars in real time. I was just talking to my friend in Australia, because I'm also a member of this group called the Luth Group. L-O-O-T-H, Luth, as in luthier. So quite a few people are members. I think over 700 or maybe even more, all over the world, right? So there's a Zoom link. In fact, let me check my computer. That is permanently on. And right now, I can see I have it on this screen and on that screen. So right now, there are only 2 people logged on. And maybe I should log off. Let me see. Yeah, 2 people. One of them is the Australian guy. So, all right, anyway. So their cameras are running. You know what? I'm going to log off and then log on to my other Zoom, because I keep Zoom running, because that way my computer doesn't go into sleep mode. Okay, so I'm just launching Zoom, and I'm just playing my own content here on this screen. This is a prompter, like a teleprompter. But it's, so I'm looking at the teleprompter. It looks like I'm making eye contact with you, right? Okay. Oh, I see some regulars, but like I said, I'm a little bit nervous that this is outside, unattended, so I need to be here. Yeah, so yesterday I did this impromptu review of the Telecaster, new standard, made in Indonesia, on this channel. Then I recorded a review. It's slightly different, and I put it on the main channel. I uploaded it this morning, around noon or so. Actually, it was around 1, I think, in the afternoon. And it's doing well. And then I went to the store, and I returned the guitar. I exchanged it. And I picked up a Strat, also made in Indonesia. So like I said, I actually kind of am thinking of, just keeping one, at least for a while, of the first ones made in Indonesia. I don't know, they might become collectible, like the Japanese Squires. I don't know, because I think that they put their best people on this job. So this is made at the same factory where they've been making Squire guitars. And now I think they put their best people on the Fender team. So we'll see what happens. But one possible scenario is kind of what happened with Squire in terms of quality. So the first Squires, if you have like a really old vintage Squire, we're talking like really good quality guitars, right? They're different than the Squires you buy today. And today you can buy some really good Squires, and some of the cheap ones are really not what I would recommend normally. But some of them are really good. So the same thing might happen to the Indonesian Fender, the new standard. Quality might go down after a while, and these guitars might become collectible somehow, somewhat, I don't know. In a few years, people might be looking for them. So I was thinking of buying one, not really as an investment. Obviously, I want to make a review. I kind of want to keep it. I mean, it's kind of like a historic thing. Not quite like buying a Les Paul in 1959, but, similar. So I bought a Strat. It's a blue one. I barely looked at it. And that was intentional. I looked at it a little bit, but I don't really want to look at it because I want to examine it with fresh eyes and obviously record my assessment of it for you. So that was the reason. But I already know that it has 2 1/16 inch string spread, which is the correct string spread for the neck size. Unlike what they did on the telly, which is they put the wide bridge there for whatever reason. So now the string is slipping off the side. Now that was not the fault of anyone in Indonesia. I don't think so. I think this is some decision that was made by someone at Fender. An oversight? I don't know. Or maybe they said, oh, let's make it vintage spec. I hate that word. A vintage spec. So vintage spec can mean a good thing in some cases, but usually it means the way guitars were made before they figured out how to make them good. I have a vintage spec guitar. I have an R8 Les Paul, which is a reissue of a 1958 Les Paul Burst. And I love that guitar, and it is VOS, Vintage Original Spec. But the specs are good on that one, right? But throughout the guitar manufacturing history, we've had some guitars that were, you know, not well spec'd. Okay, I'm at a point where I still see some low frets here, right here. These three, hold on. I want to show you this camera. Okay, these three. So what is this, 13, 14, 15 fret? These three, they're low right here at this point. But I'm starting to remove a little bit of the red. Now that could just be the grit, just kind of like smearing over the red marker. So now is the time to pull out my weapon. Secret weapon? Not really. The fret rocker. And check. So I don't think this is going to show me that any of the frets are uneven. That's all good. Okay, but now past the 12th fret, the 13th fret seems to be a little lower. So am I? Yeah, a tiny bit. Now it's really so minimal. I can only kind of feel it. Okay. So this is passable as it is, but what I want to do is I actually want to take the short leveling beam, both of them, and do a little fall away there. So that's going to help. So this is the coarse, and here I have this one with the really fine, two finer grits. And that's it. Now let's bring them outside, and let's work on the fall away. So this goes away for now. And it's going to be a very light fall away on this guitar, because the 20th fret is already pretty low, and the 19th as well. So I just want to kind of work on this section of the fingerboard right here to lower these frets past the what is this, from the 16th fret, and then you know, finish it off this way. Did I have a guitar on the jig, an acoustic guitar on the jig yesterday or 2 days ago? I was doing a follow-away, I seem to remember. It was a different situation. Okay, so now let's check again. No more rocking here. Obviously, I still detect a tiny bit as if the 12th fret is higher, but it isn't. It's just the 13th fret is lower. This isn't going to create any buzzing issues. So now this is the finer on top here. So you see, I focused on a smaller area, now I'm spreading out a little bit. So this follow-away will be minimal on this guitar. A guitar doesn't necessarily need a follow-away. It's a good thing. Okay, so I am basically doing scratch removal now. And I can see the scratches. Yeah, a trained eye can see scratches. You just look at the reflection, you can see the scratches. Hey, hey. And now the fine grit. Okay, so we're done with the level. With the level link, the level part of the level crown and polish. Now I can still see two little dimples off to the side. When I recrown the frets, those dimples will be taken away. Well, they won't be taken away. I'm going to take away the material that is now making the frets flat, right? So I think this is all good. All right. Yeah, the reflection looks good. So now I need to decide if I should do the crowning on the bench or here. It's a busy night, and it's making me nervous how people are walking around the neck jig. Like I said, some people almost were kind of rushing around very close to the jig at the very beginning of this live stream. So I don't know. I prefer to do crowning on the neck jig. Let me think about that. Right now there's something developing here, so I just need to wait it out a little bit. Someone is trying to fix something. Yeah. I think you saw part of it. What else can I tell you? Okay, about the upcoming live stream of the Fender Strat. So I have it here. It's a blue Fender Strat with not a rosewood. It's not rosewood. What is it called again? It's at the tip of my tongue. Okay. I'll tell you during the live stream, I guess. So I want to do the same thing. A live stream for a live streaming or a review. I can't talk anymore. A live stream review for this audience, and then after everyone leaves, which is going to be after 10 p.m. I'm told, record a review. But I don't want to post it tomorrow because I just posted a review today. Maybe wait a few days. It shouldn't wait too long, right? Because this is the hot thing now. People are dying to buy them. So thinking of the timing, right? Now let's check how many people watched the other live stream. The first, this one, not live stream, review. Let me refresh this. It was 159 a few minutes ago, and now it climbed up to 166. 23 likes, 12 comments. It also counts my replies. I replied to some comments. Here, this viewer says, excellent info, thanks. I don't go for guitars having mismatched wood grain / shading. Same for guitar tops showing runout. This viewer knows what he's talking about. So runout is something that shows on acoustic guitar tops when you see that one side is darker than the other, and then when you turn it around, let's say that if the treble side is darker from this side than the bass side, and then when you turn the guitar around, the treble side becomes lighter and the bass side becomes darker. So that's a book matched runout when the wood fibers are actually not parallel to the soundboard, but going in this direction or this direction, right? And that can cause issues. It doesn't necessarily cause issues, but if the bridge wants to lift, it can tear the side that's pointing up this way, right? So that can happen. I've seen it happen. In fact, I think I have a video or live stream or something about that. I believe so. Okay, so the video is doing well. I think that this issue, whatever was happening, has been resolved. So maybe I take a very short break right now and decide if I want to do the next live stream on the bench, the recrowning, or on the neck jig. I don't know. Let me use my best judgment. Dr. James Reese says, drop a like. So let's see how many likes I got. 2 likes. 7 watching, and 2 likes. All right, thank you, doctor. Good evening, everyone, Mark says, and then that's Mark, and then Dr. Aficionado says, hey, Mark. Yeah. I appreciate all the technical information. That's Aficionado says this. And also info about how you have non-refundable appointment fees. I'm considering becoming a guitar tech. Please do, yeah. So obviously I am doing this. I'm monitoring here the guitar. I'm doing this to share the experience from my life, from my professional life, and help others. I think everyone benefits if this business is good for people, right? So I want all the technicians and luthiers to be good at what they do. Right. So Alexis L says, love your channel. I would get distracted working around people like this. They seem nice and respectful. Yeah, they are nice and respectful here. And we have Grandpa Joe who says, good evening, Guitar Quackery. Good evening to you as well. Yeah, so I do get nervous when the guitar's outside, but here I can close the door if I need to. I can even close this window. I rarely do, but I put this bench here so that people don't walk in. And you know, and I I had one customer once, he felt a little bit, you know, too much like at home. So the bench was here, he's talking to me, and then the bench was all the way here, right? And he moves the bench and goes inside. I said, no, you gotta wait outside. I mean, I got tools here, I got guitars, you know, so, okay. Nothing happened. But yeah. So, friends, 3 likes, great. So the reminders work. I'm going to take a really short break, and I hear someone outside. Okay, no one's around the guitar, okay. I'm going to take a really short break and decide if the crowning is going to be happening outside or inside. Let me think, all right? So thank you very much for watching, and perhaps I will see you soon.